So Luke, we're sat here ahead of Yeovil Town visiting us in the FA Trophy on Tuesday evening. It's been 10 days since we last played here against Aldershot in the league, winning 3-2. How have those 10 days been for you?
Yeah, good. Obviously, with the game that was supposed to be played on Saturday, being against Yeovil, and obviously they're kind of at their COVID isolation period, it's been nice because we've been able to get bodies back, rest, because I felt that the period of time that we've had the 4 games in, I believe it was 10, 11 days, it's tough on the boys, especially the likes of going to Hartlepool and Notts County, travelling all that time and then coming thick and fast to face Aldershot on the Saturday. So to have that 10-day period has been very nice. Been able to do a lot of work on the grass, touch on things that I think we needed to work on, and assess things that we've been really good at. We've delivered a couple of analyst sessions with Elliot where we've been very productive in the last 4 games and wanting to continue with that work. The main thing was getting rest into the bodies, getting some work into the ones that haven't featured as much, and then coming back together, say, the back end of last week and today to prepare for Yeovil tomorrow evening. So yeah, been a very welcome period, especially going into what it looks like a 26th, 28th and the 2nd in a short turnaround just as the Christmas period starts. So yeah, very welcome. The 10 days has allowed us to get back the group together, work on a load of little bits that we wanted to work on and be fully prepared for Yeovil tomorrow night.
So you talk about it being a welcome break, but on the flip side of things, we'd won our last 4 games. Is that element of being disappointed of that break maybe getting in the way of you continuing that run?
Listen, we had the Saturday being Aldershot to Yeovil, so we would have catered the week to ensure that we allowed for the team to recover. So it was always in the diary, their 30-day plan, that they were going to have the Monday off. The fact that we didn't have then Yeovil on the Saturday, it sort of altered the week in terms of what we could get into the legs. Obviously, the 4 back-to-back wins, we're on a run, but we're still on that run. That run hasn't stopped just because we've had time to recover or work on bits. Yes, we need to ensure we get straight back on the horse in terms of Tuesday evening. I've spoken at length in my programme notes and to the group that the trophy means something to me, this football club, and should mean something to the dressing room, which I know it does. And they're no fools. Yeovil are a very good team, very good outfit. I'm taking under no illusions that they've been on an isolation period, that they're not going to be ready. I've watched them against Bromley, I watched them against Hartlepool, I watched them against Stockport, and I watched them against Eastleigh. The game they played against Bromley was totally different to the games they played against the Stockports and Hartlepools, and I can't see why you wouldn't go back to that sort of way of playing to ensure that they get a win. They're great personnel in their ranks. They're not a bottom 3 team in terms of what they have in the building. We need to ensure that we're right on our job. They've got personnel in there that can cause you problems, the likes of Murphy. I like Luke Wilkinson as a centre-half, worked with him, played with him, and I think he's one of the best at the level. And you've got Charlie Lee with the experience and Skendy in the middle of the park. So, yeah, we've won 4 games, but we're still won 4 games. The aim is to win 5 after tomorrow evening and be in the 4th round of the FA Trophy going into January.
So this is the second period where a COVID incident has put a halt to our season or made us relook at our fixture schedule. Obviously, that's going to mean a fixture congestion later on in the season, say with the Weymouth game having to be moved. Is this something you could prepare for?
Listen, like I said, you've got to roll with the punches, and I'm not the only manager that's doing it. At the minute, we've not had a case, touch wood. I think the protocols and the procedures we've put in place at this football club is very much the best around. Just seeing what I'm seeing in terms of going to away clubs and seeing the manner in which they conduct themselves, I look at us as a very professional outfit. This is going to happen. It's rife. The new virus, or the sort of strain that's coming around, 70% chance of catching it, and you see that there's 35,000 plus people that are in hospitals and another 400 plus dead. So yeah, it's rife, but I'm a manager, and that's where I say to my group, we can only control the controllables, and we need to ensure that we're proactive, we're on the front foot, we're doing the best we can in terms of keeping as many isolated incidents at the club, and it's ever present in terms of the way that the 2 bubbles are working now with the academy and the first team. And I thought we were very proactive from the offset. I think that we have a great COVID manager in Megan Reid, and we have staff on site that are implementing what's being asked of Megan. And I got to say, the players, the staff, the day-to-day staff is delivering on what's being asked of them, and they have a social responsibility. So I hope that we don't have cases in the coming weeks, but I can imagine we're not going to be the last time of having a break in a season with another COVID outbreak at another club. And like I said, we've got to roll with the punches. We've got to ensure that we're ready. We have a plan in place that, God forbid that happens again, we have a mini pre-season for the ones that aren't playing and rest for the ones that are being wheeled out, week in, week out. And there's going to be congestion. We've got an 18-man squad, 19-man squad. We're looking to add to that with 1 or 2 additions. That's a 21-man squad. Whether I have to get a couple out to ensure they're getting game time, we've got more than enough that's in the building to utilise throughout that period, no matter what.
So you look at the FA Trophy this season, and we had the luxury of looking at the fixtures after Saturday's round of FA Trophy fixtures, and there's a number of National League clubs that fell to a casualty in that round. Is this a competition that not only ourselves but perhaps Yeovil as well look at as a possible way of getting into Wembley and earning some silverware?
I think if you're not, listen, I don't know what people's agendas are. I was going to say if you're not, I think you're foolish. But again, Yeovil may be coming to town and looking at Torquay over the Christmas period and thinking, is that more important? For us, we go Yeovil, Barnet, Willstone, Barnet. I have a mindset now with the group that it's win the next game. We haven't even talked about Barnet, Willstone, Barnet. It's win the next game. That's how we're working. That's how we believe we can be successful. Yeovil's that next game. The fact that it's in the FA Trophy, and I believe the draw is in 25 minutes, we'll already know who we're facing in the 4th round, which again I believe is the last 32. It's a great opportunity to go in Wembley. There's not many chances that you have to go to Wembley, and we're not going to pass that up easily. I'm not saying that we're not going to lose the game. It's there for both teams to win, but we're fully focused of having a cup run. And I said to the group, let's be full throttle on all fronts, be in the FA Cup, be in the league, and be in the FA Trophy come January. And that's something that's been tasked to the group. If we play in the manner which we've played at Canvey, at Hartlepool, Notts County and Aldershot, then we'll give ourselves the best opportunity of progressing in the FA Trophy. What Yeovil do, what Darren Searle do, what teams done in prep for Saturday, I don't know. You look at it, potentially the bottom 5 to 6 may have a different agenda of getting out that bottom run, and the top 6 might have an agenda of it may be too much of a condensed season, it might be too many fixtures, it might have to be rearranging of these games. So I don't know what people's agendas are. What our agenda is, we want to have a successful cup run in the trophy, and that starts tomorrow evening against Yeovil.
So you mentioned that top runner clubs wanting to, what will perhaps considering it a little bit a step too far, perhaps, considering fixture congestion in the league, and that maybe being their paramount importance. Obviously, from our conversations, that's a target of ours, to be in and about at the end of the season. Does that put added onus on you with us already having an FA Cup run, looking like we'd want an FA Trophy run, and also making a playoff challenge to get some additional bodies in the building?
Yeah, working tirelessly to try and get bodies in. The group is good, and I've spoke about the group. It's the best dressing room I've had the luxury of working with, without even thinking. When they're on their money, they're frightening. And I had the luxury, because obviously we didn't have to prep for Yeovil till later on in the back end of the week. I watched the Hartlepool game back, I watched the Notts County game back, watched the Aldershot game back, and there was some real good bits. You don't go to Hartlepool and dominate a game. You don't go to Notts County in large periods control a game of football if you're not a good outfit. And for me, we need to add some additions to them to ensure that, like you said, after the Christmas period into the new year, it's a very condensed season. We are just over, I believe, the quarter of the way through, just slightly. And we've got Millwall coming to town on January the 9th. If we're successful tomorrow evening, we'll have another fixture on January the 19th, which then changes the fixture on that date in the league. So bodies yet coming in the building. You can see circulars that are going around now that clubs in the EFL are starting to shuffle their pack and offer up personnel to ourselves and the league above. And yeah, we need the right ones in. We've got 2 irons in the fire at the minute that I think if they come in, the fans will be excited for sure. The dressing room will see the intent that the football club has with the 2 signings. If we get them over the line, we'll see the intent of what's being done behind the scenes with myself, Charlie and the chairman. But yeah, it is on my to-do list to get personnel in the building, because I think it will only aid what the group's already done and what they're doing. We need a very competitive squad going into this period and coming out into the new year, because of the amount of fixtures that are going to be taking place and the opportunities of COVID arising again, that you're going to have weeks off with games that you're going to miss. So bodies is paramount getting in to ensure that we don't go to the same well with the same personnel and they blow up come Feb, March.
Just a reflection on the previous Saturday against Aldershot and the return of fans, which probably now feels like a bittersweet moment in regards to probably the fantastic feeling of having them back in the stadium, but that being taken away so abruptly with the announcements this week. Do you have any message for the fans?
Stick with it. Stick with it. It's tough for everyone, isn't it? I've got to be honest. Tier 4, we've had to tell my mother-in-law that we're not going round, and I've got a Christmas day with just my family. So stick with it. They were immense. I've done a little loop of the pitch prior to Aldershot, just about 25-3, and I thanked everyone for attending, because look, they've come out and put themselves at risk with regards to the stats that are going on. So we thank them as a club. We give them a moment. We hadn't had a moment. We needed a moment against Halifax. We didn't have a moment. We needed a moment against Canvey Island. We hadn't had a moment. So to get the winner on the 88th minute with Sorba Thomas, we had a moment. But I just want them lot to know that if they need any support over this period, please get in touch with the club. We're here to support you. And I can't thank them enough for what they're doing and what they've done in terms of when I've been here as a manager and a player. So stick with it. I hope they have a great Christmas. I hope they have the support network they need. And if not, get in touch with the club, because we're here to support our community.